I'm gonna break down this trade for you, so therefore you can understand what's going on, like in totality. Okay, so um, I'm gonna leave that here, and we're gonna go to the daily time frame real quick, just so you can understand. All right, what's going on? I'm gonna redraw it up for you and everything like that too. Okay, forgive me if I fuck up. Okay, forgive me if I fuck up in the explanation, but just know I just accomplished this as far as like this back testing. So um, I'm gonna break it down for you, so therefore you're able to get a better understanding of it, like piece by piece. All right. So right now the forex pair that I'm using, and again I'm just breaking down the technical part of it. Like, don't worry about whether or not it's forex or none of that shit. Like, don't worry about that. Just focus on what you've been learning, right? Which is trading in general, right? So, as you can see here, right here, right? If you look at this chart, we have currently price has been in a box, right? This is the box that we're talking about right here. Like this big ass shit right here. This is the box, okay? So, price has been in a box. Now, previously, it was on a downtrend, right? Because what? High, low, higher, high, low, lower high, lower low. Now, check this out. Here's the first thing. Whenever you're doing lower highs and lower lows, or higher highs and lower lows, we're going to points, okay? Significant points, not the little in between. So this is how I would mark up my higher high, higher low, or my lower high, lower low. So since this is a downtrend, lower high, lower low. So here, 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 boom, boom. Okay, that's how I would mark up the chart. Cause if you go to the line chart real quick, don't that look accurate? See what I'm saying? So that's a cool little cheat code. But also, you're looking more at candlesticks. But this is how you basically can do it. If you want a clear picture of it, you can do that. But I'm not gonna overload your brain. Okay, so just. But that's what you do. All right. So anyway, downtrend, right? So cool. Now we know we're in a downtrend. So I took this point right here, and then I did a little trick, which is basically take my Fibonacci, right? My Fibonacci tool, put it from A, right? Point A to point B. This is point B. This is point A. So cool. We have point A, point B. This is our indication. Why is it an indication? Because if you remember, this was a downtrend, right? This was a downtrend until what happened? Because what is a downtrend? Lower highs, lower lows. What happened? This is a higher low. Why? Because price here, 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 here. So last time I checked, on a downtrend we have lower highs and lower lows. This low is not, or this low is not lower than this low. This low right here, is higher than this low over here. Hold on. Shit. Let me just do this. So, as you can see, these two lows are completely different. This one is lower, this one's higher. So that means our trend has broke structure. Then what happens right after that? Another high, another higher low. Then a higher high. So we just broke structure, right? Prices broke structure. So currently, according to the daily, because remember, we're on the daily time frame. So this is multiple days where price from here was in a corrective phase, right? But it could have easily continued upward, but it didn't. What happened? Price broke structure again, and it happened right here. So now we know that we're on a downtrend. Okay, so that's how we got our point A, point B, our indication. which gives us the start of our Fibonacci sequence. So we have point A, point B. So right now, if we have an indication, point A to point B, what phase are we in now? You should have said correction. Cool. Now, check this out. Let's move this out the fucking way real quick. Okay? This is where we get to our box. Price is in a box. This is what is basically when price is either choppy or it's consolidating. Okay? Ranging is another word for it. But basically, price is not moving in a trend like this, like that, or even like this. Price is not moving in a trend. It's in a box. So you see a downtrend, you see an uptrend, you see another downtrend, you see another uptrend. Now price is in a box. Okay? Now, here's where my thought process is. If price is in a box or it's ranging, think of it building momentum. It's building up basically enough energy to be able to push either up or down. So what am I thinking? I'm waiting for price to indicate again, hey, we're getting ready to move from our downtrend, our correction phase, another downtrend, to our, again, correction phase. Now we're going to continue. So I'm waiting on the continuation. Now, here's how we get to that part. So first things first, we're going to speed up what's up on the chart. So cool. Nothing happening right now. Nothing happening right now. Nothing happening right now. These are days, by the way. Remember, we're on the daily. So nothing is happening right now. Cool. Cool. Now, check this out. Let's bring this back. Now, if you see this great box here, this is what we call support. Okay? So support is basically when price, we're going to put daily support too. If it types, raggedy bitch. What the fuck? Cool. So this is daily support level, right? Whenever it decides to show its fucking face, then great, right? But this is your daily support level, okay? I'm going to drag over this Fibonacci too. So this is where price has repeatedly hit multiple times, okay? So since price has touched this area 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's touched this area multiple times. That's how we know this is our support. Okay, cool. So since it's our support, this is our resistance up here. Okay, so now we know price either has to do one thing, which is shoot upward or go down. If it goes down, it's broken support. If it goes up, it's broken resistance. Cool. Now, think about it back to our point A to point B. If price goes up, that means we're in a whole new trend. Because think about it, we were in a downtrend beforehand, and price has not. It's gotten close to this last high, right? It did not create a higher high, so therefore it has to create a lower high, right? Cool. And what is a downtrend? High, low, lower high, and then lower lows. So now we're getting ready to see this happen. Of course, price is in a box, but bear with me. Now, we're already at point A, we're at point B. So where am I thinking at? I'm thinking price has to break support. Okay? Price has to break support. Why? Because that'll let me know indication, correction, what? Continuation. So now price has to break this support level on the daily. All right, now look what it does. Price broke it. If it's leaving this long wick right here, that means it's respecting it. This breaks. This is respect. Again, respect, 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 break, right? Cool. So now, since we have a correction, right? And now we have a continuation beginning. A lot of times that I used to struggle within this trading shit, it's still due to this day, so it's something that I'm still getting better at and fine-tuning, is when is the correction over? Now we're going to go over this. You know the correction is over when you begin to see lower highs and lower lows formed on your downtrend, or reverse, when you begin to see higher highs and higher lows are formed on your uptrend. That's how you know the correction is over and we are starting to go back into the continuation of our trend. Cool. So now on the daily level, I'm seeing price breaking out and beginning to form what? Another indication, because it's in this range and now it's starting to trend. Because look at this. Here, 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 here. See what I'm saying? Cool. So now I see that. What am I doing? I'm going to go down another time frame, the 4 hour. Now that we got it out, look at that. So this was all ranging. This was the last time price, right, disrespected it. Now look what it's doing again. Cool. So now that we're here, what am I looking for? Well, again, I have to make sure that we're out of our correction. This is not being out of the correction just yet. Why? Because, again, price just formed its first lower high since it's breaking out. You don't want to get in on the first lower high. Why? Because price has to let us know that we not only are breaking support, but we're getting ready to form another lower high to indicate to you, letting us know, hey, or letting you know, the trend is down. So we have to be patient. Cool. So what am I doing now? I'm waiting. So I'm still in my support, right? Still in my support. You see how price is going in? This is why you wait. If you did not wait, say if you got in here, cool, here. Oh, all right, bet, damn, hold on, let me get in. Right? You take that lower high. You didn't look at the higher time frame and see, wait a minute, is this over with yet? Get what I'm saying? If you would have got in, you would have got smacked right in the face. Simple as that. Why? Because your stop loss would have been back here thinking that you're going down, now you're going up. You got smacked. This is why you have to wait on multiple lower highs being formed. Or on a daily, on a higher time frame, if you see high, low, right? Cool. Well, now we know we got another indication, another correction coming. Now it's time for us to start over the process again. So cool. Let's continue. So we got this up, this correction forming. Cool. Now I'm waiting on lower high. Still waiting. Still waiting. Please don't tell me I just fucked up something. Okay, cool, bet. All right, we good. All right, and now I'm still checking. To find out, okay, cool, where are we at? Where are we at in regards to this? Okay, cool. We got a 4 hour, so bet. Now we have a trend. We can draw from point A to point B. Now, how do we get here? Again, now I see a trend forming. Why? Because I got confirmation from the daily time frame that we're starting to move. We're starting to move. We've already broke support. We're starting to move. This is a lower high. It still looks very choppy, but again, we're starting to see movement within this pair. All right, cool. Let's go back to the lower time frame. Now we got it. All right. So now we are at this 50% level of this Fibonacci sequence that we just drew from here to here. Again, we have point A, down here, point B. This is point C because now we have a correction. So what are we looking for? Point D, which is to what? Get us to, again, when is the correction over? When we have our second lower high established. Why? Because this could easily just form what? A higher low and fake you out. Cool. So now we know here at this level, we are looking for a lower high to either touch back into this level, so therefore we can complete the sell. right? So cool. This is what we're waiting on. Again, we're going to point this out again. If you would have got in right here because you weren't patient on the second lower high, after you start seeing it have a downtrend or going back into the trend, right, which is this downtrend here, you know what I'm saying? Oh, price broke. Now it's starting to go down again. Let me get in. Let me get it. FOMO. Boom. You got smacked. Your stop loss right here. You got smacked already. Cool. This is why you don't, again, rush it. So what are we doing? We're waiting. Waiting. Cool. All right. Price broke our support here, right? So now what are we looking for? That second lower high. That's all we're looking for. Once it forms that lower high, we're locked in. So that means what? Now it's time for us to do what? Scale down to the next time frame. Why? Now, here's how you are knowing whether or not you're going to scale down to the next time frame. The next step of your move gets completed. So if you see a correction being formed on a 4 hour, which is basically by one candle, you're going to see all these mini candles right here. We just got our first high, higher low. Now we have a higher high, right? This is a higher high. This is a higher high. This is a higher low. But what is this? This is our first broken, right? This is our first lower low. So since this is our first lower low, what does that mean? We just broke structure here. It goes back to what is mentioned in ICC, which is what? We have an indication. Indications happen whenever price breaks structure. So you now have an indication letting you know right here, we're getting ready to go down again. So now I'm just waiting on that second lower high. Cool. Second lower high. I think this is where I got in right here. So if I get it wrong, you understand what I'm saying, but I'm also, this is just practice for me as well too, just to make sure I'm able to redo this shit again. So cool. I got my high, my low. This is my second lower high. Let's go to the 4 hour. Let's see where we are. We're now trending. We broke structure here. So now we see these bars forming here. This is a little bit of consolidation. So now we have to just wait a little bit more. If not, again, it's okay to be late on the move. You don't want to be early, though, and get stopped out and be right on the move. So cool. Lower high forming. Lower high still forming. Cool. Now we got a breakout. Right? So now, I think I got in like right here. Yeah. So I got this all back. You see what I'm saying? So point B is right here. So my TP is here. It's here. Why? Because point B, point A, let's go back to the 4 hour, was where? Here. Point B was where? Here. Where was our support the entire time? Here. Price has done what again? After what? Breaking through. It corrected and what? Touch support again. If you can see that, look, price touch support again. Let me delete this. Price touch support again. So indication, correction, continuation. Now, where does this Fibonacci shit come into sequence, or Fibonacci come into play? Well, here, let me delete the bigger one. This is at the 61.8 level. This is also known as the golden ratio, okay? Basically, this is the indicator for all reversals. Now, again, just because it hits this doesn't mean that you automatically have a reversal. You just saw how many things that we needed evidence-wise to prove, okay, we're continuously going down. Let me bring that back now. Okay, so let me go ahead and get back my thing. Okay, cool, perfect. Now, I'm going down to the 15-minute. Why am I going down to the 15-minute? The 15-minute is where I take my entries and I have my stop loss. You want a sniper entry, which is basically you have low shit lost and a lot of shit to gain. That's basically what this means, bro. That's all it is. So you want to make sure that you refine your entries very well. And as you can see, we have this lower low, these lower lows being built. We have another trend being built. And then again, what are we doing? We're entering off the lower high that was just formed here. We could have took that lower high sooner if we wanted to because it was here. But again, we have still equal lows. So I waited until after the fact. Why? Because it was just basically making me more comfortable to let me know, okay, cool, this shit is really going down. All right, so let's let the trade play out. Cool. All right, I was early. Now, let's find out why I was early. Let's go back to the higher. Why was I early? Boom, high, low, point A, point, yeah. So, again, the higher low, higher high, lower high. What did I not wait on? Or what got faked out? So again, this is why you wait on the higher time frames. Again, that's my mistake. But cool. So we got faked out here. All right. So now let's learn from our mistake. What are we gonna wait on? We're gonna wait on a significant higher low being formed here. Cool. All right. Yeah, there we go. All right. So now let's review it again. Here, point A, point B, price got here to the 50%, right underneath the support. And I think I said earlier in the video that I'm looking for price to push back into here. Yeah, so that's where I fucked up. Okay, cool. I'm looking for price to push back up into the support area. Why? Because this is where it initially broke. This area is where price broke through that support. This is our initial indication. Price pushed back to our indication of where it basically price broke. Cool. But it started here, but this is where the break happened. So price pushed back into here. This is where we have our lower high. All right. So now that we got that established, again, my fault on the fuck up. Hopefully I didn't confuse you too much. All right. So we had that here. And then we can enter in here. Yep, there we go, because I had my stop loss just below here when I started. All right, and my TP was negative 27. This area here, but you could easily have it as support. All right, this time I shouldn't get stopped out. Cool, it smashed. TP got smashed. So now I hope you understand this a lot more. ICC is basically repeating itself over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's all it's doing, bro. Literally. So hopefully you get it.